Lois Lane issue 6 sees Lois and her family attend the funeral of her father Sam Lane, as days before, Lois tries to wake her father up after being teleported away from Leviathan. However, she cannot, as he has died. Her detective team arrives and Zatanna says that she is sorry, but Lois tells her to go, since there are things that they can still do. However, she has to stay with her father. Zatanna does, saying that she will leave a portal for her when they're ready to go home, as they head off to deal with Leviathan. Montoya stays behind and Lois knows that Clark will be there soon, knowing they need to take her dead father home. In the rain, Lois and the others stand as her father is buried, given the 21-gun salute that makes her son and husband flinch, yet she stays stoic. Years before, a young Lois arrives home at 3 in the morning, much to the chagrin of her father, who demands to know if she went off base with friends. Lois refuses to answer, wondering if this is an order from the Colonel. He says that's not what he's asking because he's her father and worries about his daughter because he loves her. Lois takes a moment before continuing her salute, causing a teary-eyed Sam to dismiss her. Clark comforts Lois at the funeral as the trumpets sound, with John looking after a teary Lucy Lane. Lois remembers getting dinner with her father not long ago, who can't understand why Superman is a good person, thanks to him being an alien and the super being doesn't really pass his trust and verify rules, since there's still a lot of verification to be done. Lois thinks that she is being accused of bias, but Sam tells her to stop being defensive, since he's just looking at the facts, and they show that this Superman seems to like Lois and she likes him. Lois doesn't deny that she does like him, but it doesn't mean that she isn't able to stay objective, and she's a good reporter and sticks to the facts, and they indicate that Superman is the real deal. Sam still doesn't trust the alien, telling Lois things aren't always what they seem. He calls for a waiter to get them some champagne, since they are meant to be celebrating his promotion and Lois's Pulitzer Prize nomination. Lois says that she is buying, but Sam tells her not to fight with him and let him be proud of her just this once. The military service soon wrap up Sam's flag, presenting it to Lois, hoping that she will take the symbol of appreciation from them for all of Sam's service. Lois looks at the flag, but she can't take it, causing Clark to take it in her place. Years prior, Sam meets with Lois and baby John in a park, demanding to know if she wrote the article about Argus's hit list and what her source is on it. Sam thinks that she wrote it without verifying it and wonders if this is what the Daily Planet has fallen to. Lois says that he is making accusations without proof, and she didn't write it since she's still off on maternity leave. She knows Perry would never run a story without proof, but Sam thinks that maybe Clark is behind this, as Lois says that people need to know what Argus is planning. But Sam defends the contingency plans he is put in place, and he's trying to protect them all by serving his country. Lois says that she knows, and she is serving it as well in her own way. John begins crying, so Lois calms him, telling him that her and Grandpa are just arguing. She gives John to Sam, telling him that all they both want is for people for John to be proud of. In the present, Lois consoles her sister Lucy, who becomes angered with Lois since she just couldn't put the things between her and her father behind them and take the flag. It had to be all about her. Lucy storms off, leaving Lois to say that Sam would never have forgiven her for it. Earlier, Sam comes to see Lois, who is surprised to see him since she was meant to not be talking to him ever again. Lois invites him in, and Sam knows that she is angry, and Lois says she is since she told him the most important truth of her life, something she should have done years ago, but never had the courage to. But when she found the courage and told him, he turned his back on her and walked away. Sam didn't know what he was meant to do since she's been lying to him for years and years, and in his whole life and career, she was the only person he could actually trust, and she made a fool out of him by telling him that she married Superman. Sam wonders if he's listening right now, and Lois says that he isn't since Clark trusts her. Sam says that he doesn't know how to be good with this, or if he ever will be, but if Lois is, then he's willing to give it a try. At the wake, Clark comes to see his wife, who finally breaks down in tears, saying that Sam Lane was so close to understanding and believing in Superman. Lois Lane issue 6 was such an amazing issue, finally dealing with the death of Sam Lane and the crushing toll it has had on Lois, who while puts on a brave face for most of this issue is just broken by the death at the end of it. I loved how it looked at her and Sam's turbulent relationship, and every emotional beat here that it intends to do just sticks to the landing. It's utterly tragic that just as Sam was willing to give Lois his trust in regards to Superman and her having to keep that from him, it was all just ripped away from her and she can't ever have that conversation with him again. I hope this is a death that sticks, and something tells me it will be, since no one can ever seem to really understand what to do with Sam Lane, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next issue and the fallout from all of this. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10.